"Only 10 seconds separate me from being a champion and nothing," he once remarked. Known as a fighter who played Russian roulette with 6-ounce gloves, he ruled over a competitive featherweight division for 4 years. But his in-the-ring achievements are often overlooked, as his legacy is forever defined by one tragic night on March 21st, 1963. Davey Moore was born November 1st, 1933, in Lexington, Kentucky. His father, Howard Moore, was a minister and moved a large family to Springfield, Ohio, where he became the pastor of the nearby Jesus Only Church. Davey was the youngest of 7 brothers and 2 sisters. He grew up hunting rabbits, pheasants, and groundhogs, but fighting in the street became his #1 hobby. When I was a schoolboy, Papa used to punish me for fighting on the streets by denying me things I liked best, Moore said. But that failed to keep me from fighting, because that really was what I liked most. Moore followed his older brothers into boxing at the age of 12, training at a makeshift gym in Virgil Mabro's garage. At age 13, he tried to enter the Golden Gloves tournament in Dayton by lying about his age, claiming to be 16, but was turned away. Undeterred, he tried again over the next 2 years until he was finally allowed to compete, eventually winning a national AAU championship. At 18, Moore married 16-year-old Geraldine Welch, and the couple started a family. While Geraldine worked as a stenographer, Moore initially worked as a laborer for a truck manufacturing firm before transitioning to operating an air hammer on a construction crew. In 1952, Moore qualified for the Olympics in Helsinki. He won his first match before being eliminated from the tournament after losing a close split decision to Korean Jun-Ho Kang. Upon returning home, Moore turned professional in May of 1953. However, he encountered managerial problems from the start, as he was initially under the guidance of Ted Ordanek. Campaigning in the featherweight division, Moore faced setbacks when he stepped up in class too soon, losing decisions to Russell Tague and Jackie Blair. However, in April of 1954, he turned heads by getting off the canvas to decision Chili Charlie Riley over 10 rounds. 8 months later, Moore secured the Ohio State featherweight title by stopping Eddie Bergen in the 9th round. Despite these successes, a loss to Bobby Rogers in Chicago left Moore feeling ready to quit. He had made the mistake of signing with a group of managers from Detroit who subsequently brought a lawsuit against him. With little hope for a future in boxing, Moore considered quitting until his contract was bought out by Willie Ketchum Friedland, who resolved all of Moore's managerial woes. "He was my guy," Ketchum said. "Too good for anyone to box. Duck him they did, like smallpox." With Teddy Bentham as his trainer, Moore received his first significant opportunity when he faced Gil Cadilli, then the 7th-ranked contender in the featherweight division. Despite being a 9-5 underdog, Moore seized control of the fight from the start and never relinquished it, winning a lopsided decision. This victory was followed by a revenge win over Panama's Isidro Martinez, who had defeated Moore 2 years earlier. Moore was eager for this rematch, feeling that Martinez had been given a hometown decision in their first bout. In this return match, Moore floored Martinez early and scored a clear-cut decision. This victory propelled Moore into the rankings at number 6. By February of 1958, he became the #1 rated featherweight, riding a 12-fight win streak into a match with the hard-hitting and popular Ricardo Moreno at the Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles.
36 professional fights for Davey Moore.
Gewichtsweltmeister Davey Moore in der weißen Hose auf dem Wege nach vorn. Hatte bis dahin alles gewonnen und da hat er schon Ricardo Moreno unten. Dieser Moreno hatte kurz zuvor einen Titelkampf gegen Hogan Kid Bessie verloren in der 3. Runde durch K.O. Und jetzt war er Prüfstein für den neuen Mann, für Davey Moore. Und der ist ein großartiges Bewegungstalent, bei dem stimmt alles.
Trying to stay in there. Davey Moore, a picture boxer puncher, rarely throws caution to the wind. He stays after Moreno with sharp combinations.
natürlich ein Fight, den die Zuschauer sehen wollten. Und dieser Davey Moore, der wirkte damals so wie 20 Jahre zuvor der junge Joe Louis, der Schwergewichtler. Bewegungsablauf einfach imponierend. Schnelle Fäuste, schnelle Beine. Und das war's. Das war's dann. In der ersten Runde die linke zum Kopf. K.O.-Sieger Davey Moore. Später einer der ganz Großen.
Anxiously waiting his turn to challenge featherweight champion Hogan Kid Bassi, comes through with a dramatic knockout over Ricardo Moreno.
After the win, manager Willie Ketchum called for a title match against featherweight champion Hogan Kid Bassi. However, the fight was almost postponed when just days before the bout, Moore developed a sore throat and a 100-degree fever. Despite being diagnosed with tonsillitis, Moore pushed through with the match. He was tentative early on, but found his groove, eventually stopping the defending champion in 13 one-sided rounds. Bassi's manager called a halt after his fighter was blinded by his own blood. Over 20 people had gathered in Moore's family home to watch the bout, and bedlam broke loose after the fight was stopped in his favor. Moore returned to Springfield as the new champion, greeted by a caravan of over 50 carloads of well-wishers who followed him from the airport. "You can take Los Angeles, New York, and even Paris," Moore said. "I don't like any place like my good old Springfield. There's not much here, but what's here, I like." Moore's success in the ring enabled him to purchase his own home and rental property. 5 months after his initial victory over Bassi, he returned to the ring for a rematch and once again demonstrated his dominance, this time stopping Bassi in 10 rounds. Moore showed improvement from their first meeting, starting more aggressively and quickly building up a comfortable lead in points. With these 2 impressive wins, Moore became a highly sought-after fighter. There was discussion of him moving up to face lightweight champion Joe Old Bones Brown for the 135-pound title, as Moore was having difficulty making the 126-pound weight limit. There was also the possibility of a lucrative fight if he stayed in his current weight class, as bantamweight champion Jose Becerra expressed interest in moving up in weight to challenge Moore for his featherweight title. Moore followed his title defense with several non-title matches, including trips to the United Kingdom and Venezuela. It was in his second fight in Venezuela that he faced the undefeated but unknown Carlos Hernandez. Hernandez surprised Moore by knocking him down 6 times before stopping him in 7 rounds. Despite Moore being the strong favorite, this unexpected defeat came with a price, as Moore suffered a fractured jaw in the 3rd round. With his jaw wired shut, Moore was forced to take a break from the ring. In August of 1960, he journeyed to Japan to defend against Kazuo Takayama, winning a comfortable 15-round decision. However, Moore was dissatisfied as referee Jimmy Wilson stepped between the fighters in the 13th round and led Takayama back to his corner. Moore believed that the fight had been stopped in his favor when Wilson quickly turned to the officials and said that he had heard the bell. Moore, who had been battering Takayama before Wilson's intervention, felt robbed of a stoppage victory. A year later, Moore once again defended his title against Takayama, winning by decision after 15 rounds. Moore then had 5 more wins before facing Cuban expatriate Sugar Ramos. Ramos was a dangerous opponent. 5 years earlier, he had inflicted fatal injuries on Jose Tiger Blanco. Meanwhile, Moore continued to struggle to make the 126-pound weight limit, and sometimes ballooned up as high as 150 pounds between fights. The preparation for Ramos took its toll on Moore. He confided in one of his brothers that the upcoming bout might be his last. Nonetheless, Moore came into the ring as a 2-to-1 betting favorite. Ramos' trainer Angelo Dundee predicted a rock'em sock'em fight.
Bobby Bennett has called over to do a round or so of commentating. I'll call on Rodriguez in the 2nd or 3rd round to kind of take over. Louis will stay with us for a little bit. He wants to see the fights here anyways. These fellas we'll try to get Emil Griffith over here too at the end of this round. We'll try to get Emil Griffith with us also as we watch this featherweight fight. Beautiful shot by Davey Moore. He might have hurt Ramos. The double right hand, Davey's best combination. But Ramos, ooh, and a good left hook on Ramos' chin. And Ramos rallied back, ladies and gentlemen. They've exchanged right hand bombs with exactly 35 seconds to go in the second round. There's a slight abrasion under the right eye of Sugar Ramos. Davey Moore trying to set his man up. Beautiful left hooks on Moore's chin. They were beautiful. Ramos on the attack has very fast hands. Exchange. Ramos was hurt with that short hook. Man, this is punching. Davey Moore beautifully blocked every shot with arms and elbows. I don't see how this thing can go 15. Ramos was slightly shaken up. 30 seconds more in this fourth with one. Ooh, a terrific exchange. One of those right hands is another Davey Moore right. Davey Moore's looking to pin this guy against the ropes right above our microphone position. Good right uppercut. Ooh, and another right hook that time. Let's see if it's a knockdown. It is not a knockdown. No, sir. He was pushed. No knockdown. A knockdown in any given fight is at the discretion, up to the discretion of the referee. Now, Ramos, this is what I told you about earlier in the fight. Ramos likes to play those ropes. You've got to watch closely. He's tricky coming off. Lost his mouthpiece. Davey Moore lost his mouthpiece. He was hurt. No, they threw it. Yes, it is. It was Moore's mouthpiece. Hurt with a right uppercut. And another good right hand. Another good right hand. Davey Moore was hurt with 1 minute to go in this, the fifth round. This fight cannot go all the way. But don't sell Davey Moore too short. Can he whack? Ooh, but did he get hit? This is going to wind up as one of the all-time top boxing cards that we've ever staged in this country. "35 seconds to go in the fifth. Davey Moore on the right, Sugar Ramos on the left. Sucker punch at Moore. A sucker right hand, a lead. A right hand lead has been hitting Moore. Tried it again. Closing seconds of number 5. With a grazing right hand. The big question now, and it's the $40,000 question, because Davey's getting paid $40,000. Is Moore getting punched out? Is Moore tiring this early? We're 1 minute 15 seconds into round 6. Ramos can punch with either hand, too. Look out. A minute to go, number 7. 4 or 5 beautiful jabs. All keeping the champion off balance. Davey seems to be tiring with the barrage, with the number of punches that Ramos is firing. And we have only 30 seconds to go in the 7th round, and again. Ooh, Moore is bleeding around the mouth. But look out. Hold the phone. Hold on, boy. Ramos is hurt. Now Ramos is hurt. Moore wants to set him up. Seconds to go in this round, and then the 1 minute rest. Ooh, what a hook. Ramos got hurt this early in the round. It gives more time to uncork the right. There it goes. There it goes. Look out. Look out below. There's the hook. Davey's letting him go. Trying to bounce from behind. But look at the heart of this fella from Cuba. That right-hand exchange was potent. Moore cannot seem to slip, slide, knock down that sneaky left of Ramos. Halfway through this 8th round. Ooh. 15 seconds to go. Ooh! Man needs a shot. Look out again. He pumps it. He makes it tough. But you know, when Babe Ruth was at the plate, they got that old expression in baseball that the ball game is never over till that last out in the last inning. And I'll become a bit corny in this one and tell you the same thing applies tonight in this one. The fight is never over with Davey Moore till the final bell is sounded. "30 seconds more in this night. Only a few seconds more. Oh, a right-hand shot on Moore's chin. Moore is hurt. Moore is absolutely hurt. number 10. I just wonder how much punching power Davey Moore can retain with all the headshots that he's been catching thus far. The stinging, pumping left-hand jab and left-hand lead. The mixture of both. He turns it into a hook occasionally, has kept Moore off balance, and certainly has broken the nose of Davey Moore. Davey's having difficulty in breathing. He's been bleeding around the nose. But if he's got the punching power, it's still very much a fight. And if he doesn't have it, well, could be another story. We've had one champion dethroned thus far tonight in a KGT Los Angeles first. 3 world title goes in one evening on television. Look out. Now Ramos is starting to bleed from around the nose. The pace for fiery featherweights has been fast and hard. Ramos was hurt with a hook. Ramos has puffiness under the right eye. This is one they're going to remember for a long time, whether they watch it in Tokyo, Japan, or Mexico City, Mexico, or in the Philippines, or what have you. They're going to remember this one. One minute to go in the 10th round. Down, but I believe he's losing steam. He's absolutely hurt. That is a knockdown. More on the floor. 4, 5, 30 seconds to go. 6, 7, 28 seconds to go. 8. He's okay at 8. Can Ramos pull it out? Is the clock against Ramos? Moore is still hurt. Moore is wobbly. Wobbly. 15 seconds. 14 seconds. A right hand. Moore's tired. Will he continue? Yes, he will. 4 seconds to go. 3, he's hurt. Moore. Folks, we're looking into the Ramos corner. They're confident. There, he's the winner. Ramos wins. We pause. We'll get the time, the official announcement in just a second. Stay right with us. And to give the cameraman a shot. Ladies and gentlemen, a longtime friend of ours, and I had the privilege of broadcasting some of his real great fights, Davey Moore. Dave, I know it was a tough one. What's the story?
It just wasn't my night tonight.
It wasn't your night tonight.
It just wasn't my night.
Davey, tell me.
Maybe next time.
Now, let me ask you this.
Much better one.
All right. Now, do you feel you'd like to get a return shot?
Oh, definitely. I don't think he can lick me.
You don't think he can lick you?
I don't think so.
Davey,
I can fight much better.
Where I feel you, man. Where were you hurt? When were you hurt, Dave?
Well, he hit me with a...
Excuse me. Wait, just let's get up here. He hit you with what?
I think it was a left hook.
A left hook, yes.
Left hook.
I thought so. Now, do you feel in a return bout that you perhaps can land that big right hand?
I think I can knock him out.
You think you can?
I believe that, but I just couldn't get myself together for some kind of reason. One knows that I can fight much better.
I say you're a great fighter. This is my honest opinion. Now, let me ask you this, if I can. Can you make that weight easily, Dave?
Yeah, well, I can make the weight.
You can?
Yes, I can make the weight.
Well, all right. I know George Parnassus is leaning right near you. And talk to your manager. George, will you get...
I already asked Sugar Ramos about the return match, and he said that he'd be more than pleased to give Dave a return match. It was a great fight, and
this could be great.
And I'm ready to put it on.
I'd like to see you put it on. Davey, you know you're a champion in our book all the time, and
We'll see you soon. Yeah.
After posing for photographs, Moore returned to his dressing room. His last words to the reporters were, "It just wasn't my night." Moments later, he grabbed his forehead, complaining of an awful headache, and was gently eased onto a table where he lost consciousness. Moore was rushed to the hospital 45 minutes after the fight had ended. 4 doctors immediately began treating and testing him, revealing that he had suffered brainstem damage at the base of his skull. His wife Geraldine received the call from Moore's manager, Willie Ketchum, informing her that Davey was in the hospital. "When I first saw Davey, they had him packed in ice," Geraldine said. "He was already in a coma. They told me, 'Whisper in his ear. In his subconscious mind, he knows you are here.' That was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life, but I just kept whispering." Moore's family gathered back home in Springfield, with his father leading everyone in prayer. 4 days later, Moore passed away without ever regaining consciousness. He was only 29 years old. The autopsy surgeon described it as a 1-in-a-million accident, believing that the injury to Davey's brainstem had not come from a punch, but from the whiplash effect when his neck struck the ropes. Moore's body was initially laid out in Los Angeles, where over 10,000 people paid their respects as they filed by his casket. Among those who expressed their condolences were Bob Hope, Sammy Davis Jr., and Sugar Ramos, who sobbed uncontrollably. Davey's body was then transported to Springfield, where over 5,000 people attended the service at Mount Zion Baptist Church. Ohio Governor James Rhodes showed up and assured Moore's wife that he would find her a job to support the children. True to his word, Geraldine was given a job as a notary clerk connected to the governor's office, where she remained for 32 years. Later, the old Fairgrounds Park in Springfield was renamed Davey Moore Park. Mayor Robert Burton stated that Davey was not only the champion of Springfield, but of the world. He emphasized Moore's demonstration of pride and dedication, showing the youth that champions are made, not born. The park was eventually upgraded into a boxing-themed playground. However, there were numerous calls to abolish the sport after Moore's death. The Pope condemned boxing as barbaric, and California Governor Pat Brown pushed to outlaw it. Musician Bob Dylan released a song called "Who Killed Davey Moore?", posing the question to fight fans, Moore's manager, the referee, reporters, gamblers, and Ramos himself. But Moore's wife Geraldine said she had no bitterness toward boxing or Ramos. "Who killed Davey Moore?" Geraldine asked. "No one. He died doing what he liked to do. No one made him get into the ring."